Hello, hello. Welcome to our first guest presenter of Customer Appreciation Week for 2024. I have with me the beautiful, the exquisite, the talented Cassandra Spicer from Beads to Live By. And she will be making this gorgeous necklace, which I think she has in multiple colorways. So let me pop this off so we can say hello.
Hey everybody! It's
Hey,
absolutely zero pressure to be the first presenter this week.
no pressure. Never any pressure. We are so glad you're here, Cassandra. We just played around the other day and made this really fun bracelet. So I left it out on my bead table. And the giveaway that we're doing for this hour is this beautiful pendant that I have on this necklace. And since there are only 10 of these pendants, including the one on my necklace, I'm giving away the entire necklace this hour. So I won't be able to ship it till sometime next week, but one lucky winner will get the necklace that I made last week on the live. And you can enter by commenting hashtag, and I did the acronym for Beads to Live By, BTLB, Beads to Live By, because that is Cassandra's company and that's who we are totally and utterly focused on for the hour. Let me head back to comments so I can see what everybody is up to. I see they're all entering the giveaway. We will have giveaways all week long. Anytime you join us, we'll be doing a giveaway live. So anyone who's watching later, I'm sorry you missed out on it. But we are doing live giveaways every single presentation. But all of the presentations will be available to watch over and over. So if you have this kit and you're making with Cassandra and she's so quick, she just goes a little too fast for you, don't worry. Once it's over, you can go back and replay it or pause it and pause, play to catch up with her. Cassandra, tell us about this kit.
Well, first of all, Sarah, that's a great point because it's a completely reasonable expectation that someone would not finish the entire necklace in an hour or an hour and a half. I have done the whole magic of the internet and cheated a little with some stringing ahead just so that you guys don't have to sit and watch me string like 2 full strands of 18 to 20 inches of beads. But I was just really inspired by some of the trends you're seeing with these multiple layer necklaces. And it might be people wearing necklaces separately. But the thing I really love about this piece is that you will be able to straighten it out and put it on and have that multi-layered look without having to fuss around with digging out, unknotting all those little fine chains and things. There is a layer of real chain on there. We have the 3 different colors that I offered, and each one is a different metal color. So I know people have some pretty strong preferences sometimes about metal tones, and this way we hit, hopefully everybody's taste and preferences. But our favorite ball and socket clasp is on there. Those are available individually on the website as well, or as sets of 5. But I just used some of my favorite check glass and seed beads, and the combinations of colors of the seed bead mixes that are in the kits are all from various parts of our curated collections and then remixed. So it's not from an individual month from the subscriptions, but sets of all sorts of different combinations of those. And then there's several sizes of 2mm or fire polish beads, including you probably won't even be able to quite tell. There's a little faceted sparkle in this strand, and that's a teeny tiny fire polish bead that's basically the same size as a size 11 seed bead. And I'm pretty positive that if I didn't steal, I at least borrowed the idea of this little loop on the pendant from you girls, because you and Kristen are so amazing at incorporating the seed beads into different designs like that. So I felt like this little metal pendant needed something, it needed a little extra soft flex on it. So
little zhuzh.
Well, zhuzh. So the length of the necklace that I'm demoing today is at its shortest. I think it was 18.5 inches long on the chain, or excuse me, on the seed bead. So the seed bead strand is the shortest strand. And then the middle layer is the check glass strand, with the longest layer being the chain. But there is enough all the supplies in the kits for people to be able to make up to a 24-inch long necklace as far as the strong strands are concerned. And then the chain is cut at 24 inches. So you might just have to add an extra link in there, because there's two links on each side of this version of the necklace. But if anybody has previously ordered the kits before today, check your inboxes, because I emailed out a PDF little cheat sheet with notes and pictures and stuff like that this morning, because I didn't honestly get my act together and put it together anytime sooner. But I wanted to make sure and provide, there's close-up images of all the different sets of colorways for each of the kits, so that people can see like very clearly the order I used. Absolutely do not have to use that order. You're going to have some extras of the check glass. So those things will be somewhat, kind of movable as far as someone's preference of quantities and things to use. But honestly, the seed beads, I think you could get a similar effect and just string them on a completely random order, and no one would be the wiser. So if you don't want to sit here and fuss with the pattern like I do, then that is totally up to you. And I promise it will look just as beautiful and be a little bit more friendly to your patience level, maybe.
What are the different colors that you have available?
So I will be demoing in both of the colors that are not completed here, but I'm going to share all of the parts of the kit. So there's the bronze autumn combination is that completed one there. This is copper clouds, and that is with some like soft teals, some maroons, and then some really neutrals, and has the copper chain and findings with it. And then there's the, I think I called it Classic Southwest, with the silvers and corals. And I sent you some of these. I don't know if you have your package set right there. And I even sent you to something else that I did not get around to yet, but I will do after the video today. And I'll make sure and share with our friends in the VIB group once I get this done. There's probably going to be some extra supplies in everybody's kits from their necklaces, and a lot of this stuff is available on our website. So I am going to list these medallions maybe in pairs on the website. Anything that I have left after having made the kits too.
So the way you did the pendant would look so cute as an earring,
That's
guys.
why I'm going to do this
such
for
a
people.
fast and easy earring, and it would
And
look.
if you have any ideas while we're working, if I get through showing everybody,
I'll work on the earrings.
If I get through the whole like process of the complete necklace,
I've got my little pieces, my little components over here.
Yeah, you got two medallions
ready to go,
so that I could get away with not having to design the earring. No. Not at all. I just thought
so on it.
The kind of thing that Sarah might enjoy doing. So
I mean, I am all about it. My intention for this week, we sent up some intentions when we started this earlier today. And I am really focused on trying to make something each time I'm hosting and when I'm actually the designer, because I'd really like to just get my creative juices kind of flowing again. Because I have been a little out of practice, and it's nice to have these beads all here ready to go, and I can just start pulling stuff together while you're teaching this beautiful necklace.
Awesome.
So thank you for sending me the package.
Oh, well, it worked out so well to have the excuse of sending you the other beads for the other bracelet too, but
Mhm.
I appreciate any time you choose to use my beads because you always make beautiful things with them. So.
Oh, thank you. Well, you guys just know what to do. I see so many people are entering that giveaway. I have 48 entries already. Just a note, we had to forfeit someone because they didn't stay through till the end last time, and you must be here at the end to claim your prize. So, and you can only enter once. So you don't need to do it more than one time. It's one entry per person, but you have to be here at the end to claim the prize. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end. Also note that Cassandra sent a little deal to put into our swag bag. So if you're getting that swag bag, look for the Beads to Live By deal that is in there. I think all of the presenters did, minus maybe one didn't get it in on time, but I'm pretty sure almost everybody put something in there. So make sure you check out the swag bag on the Softflix Company website. Quick flash on that, and then we will switch over and get busy on this beautiful design. Here
I can't wait to
is,
see what the swag bag ended up. Oh, look at that beautiful journal.
isn't it
Ah,
pretty? I know. Yeah, so it's got a few things in it, but it includes this great little sketchbook where you can write down your notes and sketch out some pictures. I believe it's lined, if I remember correctly, but you can still draw in it for sure if you like to sketch out your projects and make notes about them or use it for whatever you want. But it is in the most recent customer appreciation swag bag. And you can get that at softflexcompany.com. And if you want it for free, spend over $99 and use coupon code CAWSWAG, CAWSWAG in pink there. And that will get you a free bag on your order. Okay.
what a deal. That's such
I
a
mean,
beautiful cover from
how
Krista.
lucky are these customers? I'm telling you. Okay, we're going to solo layout, and there
And
you go.
is the image okay? Good enough.
It'll work.
Just want to make sure we have enough light and everything. So luckily, so nice to be in the afternoon instead of the evening. All right, I think I'm going to go over the supplies in the kit first, just so everybody can kind of see and get familiar with that, and then we'll go from there. I packaged the kits up with tissue paper. I got a sticker for the outside of the package, and everybody got a little fancy card in there with their project image because frankly, after Nile showed his kits, I was feeling quite behind the game on my kit packaging. This bag that you see in your kits contains 3 different sizes of wire. One is the craft wire, and then there's 2 different pieces of Softflex wire. So the longest pieces, you might have 1 or 2 pieces. I wasn't unfortunately consistent the entire time, but you have a fine Softflex, and whether that's in 1 piece or 2 pieces, the total should equate to about 52 inches of the fine Softflex wire. This is going to be, you should have 2 sections that are about 26 inches long, or 1 section that's about 52 inches long. And that is so that you have plenty for, it's just a little easier to string your seed beads and check glass onto that fine Softflex. So that, and then you've got a piece of 22 gauge craft wire from Softflex and a roughly 2.5 inch piece of the medium wire. And that piece is for your little dangle doodad there. I'll probably call it something different every time I talk about it. This bead is mostly in, actually all of it is on your seed bead strand, so the tiniest strand of your project. And this is a size 10 cylinder shape, and it's a Matubos bead. So it is check glass, even though it's a seed bead. We've got a 4mm bicone. The other option for that is, this is an accent bead, and the yellow bead in this strand is the only variation of a different shape between the two kits. So you'll either have a bicone shape in your kit or a size 6 tri-cut. So it's got cut sides on it, even though that's a seed bead. You've got this custom seed bead mix in each kit, and it's got 4 different colors of 11s and 1 color of size 8s. 11s are the smallest, the 8s are the larger ones, and the size 8s are actually not in your seed bead strand. The larger seed bead is throughout your larger bead strand. But then you'll have several colors of those smaller beads in what I call the seed bead strand. There's a baggie of findings that includes crimp beads, jump rings, and a medallion along with a clasp. And those will be in the chosen colorway. Thanks, Becky. I saw Becky Foster answered a question. I don't see the question. Sorry, guys. I'm totally looking down at my hands while I talk. And then we've got some chain. This is a 3mm rolo chain. And I've got the entirety of your supply list on those notes that I emailed to all of you sweet customers. So many of you that purchased kits. Thank you so much. This, the rest of these strands, again, you'll have extras of some of these beads. Were all in the largest bag in your kit. There's a 3mm bead. This is a fire polish. And actually, I probably should work from the biggest size down to help you guys kind of acclimate to what you're looking at. The rondelle is that like squashed kind of donut shape. That's a 3x5mm. We've got a 4mm in the glass pearl, which is just a druck or a round glass check bead. A 3mm fire polish. And those are all in your larger bead strand there. And then the smallest bead, which is a 2mm fire polish. And there's 2 strands of that because you will need more than one, but you'll probably have some good leftovers.
2mm fire polish are so adorable. I can barely stand it. I got them in red and I just broke them open. I'm like, they are so cute.
I have 24 colors of those listed on the website, Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
Individually.
You guys need to go buy all 24. They're so cute.
They're so much fun to use because you can mix them in with your seed beads, even like with stitched projects, because they're so tiny.
They're like little faceted seed beads. They're so cool.
Yes, they are. That's exactly how I feel about them. So when I sit down to make this project, now that I know what I'm doing, because of course, when you're in the design process, you don't do things the same way that you do them when you are working to complete your piece. I sat down and started by doing a flat crimp. So you've got 5 2x2 crimps in your kit, and you're going to use each one of them in various places. But the ends of your strands of the fine soft flex, froze up there. The ends of your fine soft flex, it would be easiest just to go ahead and give yourself a loop of soft flex and crimp that bead flat to begin with. I was trying to read to make sure. Sarah, will you be in charge of if I get questions? This is a little bit more involved tutorial than I normally do.
Absolutely. And
thank you so much.
You can come back to questions later too. So
okay,
just
perfect.
Keep going and don't worry about that.
Awesome. All right. I just want to make sure I don't leave anybody out.
Becky has it handled.
You don't I know. I was like, oh, I just don't want her to have to like be in charge of that.
Becky. We love you.
Becky's the best. Becky
she is. All right, go.
All right. So once you get that crimp on the end of your fine soft flex, and again, remember you've got, you want a total of 2 pieces about 26 inches long in order to accommodate any length of necklace. And The exact measurements are in those notes for the instructions for the people who purchase kits, but I will explain the rough length of these. I've got to get my own notes out so that I can remember measurements. 18.5 inches is what I strung of beads. So specifically the amount of beads strung on the seed bead strand is 18.5 inches. And I'm going to go over the way that they are arranged in my specific pattern, but you sincerely do not have to follow that. I love ending with a size 8 seed bead. I do have that on the ends of all of my beaded strands because I think it's really nice to be able to slide some beads over the end of my wire after I crimp my bead. And then I have 3 of those size 10 Matubo or cylinder beads, and 1 of, in this particular kit, it's the darkest of the seed beads. But again, you can take a look at those notes for each of these sets. And then I have what I call the luster taupe color. And those are all size 11. Those two beads are size 11 seed beads. And then we have a 2mm fire polish and a size 11, this colorway. It's a teal matte AB color. And then the 2mm fire polish again, and a luster taupe, and the darker maroon matte bead in your kit. And when you get that sequence on, you will repeat that. So it's a whole nother repeat of that set all the way down. And I did all of those repeats, and then I ended on 3 more of those size 10 cylinder beads. Give you guys a little bit of background to be able to see that there. So 18.5 inches roughly of bead stringing on that. I'm going to end with another size 8 seed bead. That's the biggest in that little mix in your kit. And then we need a 2x2mm crimp bead. The magic of, and I foreseeably, you guys could work with me because I will have to string most of this strand during the live event. You guys could finish off most of this necklace and just leave the seed bead strand open on the one end if you were wanting to pretty much assemble with me once we're done with the rest of it. And then we're going to go back through at least a few beads, including that crimp. And you just have to be really careful you don't pull your loop all the way through, since we're not connecting it to anything right now. It's just much easier to do it this way so that you can work your ends with everything pre-strung and crimped. So also flat nose pliers for this situation, you can, so Becky was pointing out earlier, if you want to magic crimp this portion, you are able to. I find it very difficult to do it so close to a seed bead that's really tight right there. But in order to make the magic crimp work, you need to stuff this with like a piece of at least the medium wire. So that would be for that spot. If you want a perfect necklace with a perfect finished bead at the end, you just have to get that crimp stuffed full enough, because just 2 pieces of fine soft flex going through it is not enough for it to magic crimp like that. At least not with this size of crimp and crimper that I'm using.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, speaking of magic. Speaking of web magic, hi, Kristen.
Hi. It looks like Sarah had an issue where her internet dropped. So I popped in, so I'll be here.
Well, it's so nice to see you. I'm sorry that Sarah's having trouble, but welcome.
Thanks. I'll pop it back onto your screen. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're totally fine. Yes, Stephanie. I see the question about there are instructions not in the kit because we did not print them. It's a PDF that I emailed to anyone who's already purchased the kit. And then the other part of that is that people who are ordering the kit moving forward will actually receive the link for that download. So it's set up that now when you order the kit, you will automatically get the link for downloading that set of, and it's not instructions because the whole idea of this is that the instructions are included in this video, but we're calling them notes. They're very detailed notes. Yeah, Stephanie. So if you got a kit, you should have an email in your inbox, maybe in your spam folder from this earlier today that has a 3-page set of notes for you. All right, and now we're getting ready. We're going to pull out all the beads for our medium strand. We just went over that smallest strand, and we're going to be cutting these beads loose for our next portion of the kit. Aw, thanks, Judy. I'm so glad you're going to get a kit. Appreciate all those orders so much, guys. Sincerely, it's been a really nice part of our August and September sales, and coming off the summer, which is a little bit quieter sometimes, I think, for a lot of retail businesses. We sincerely appreciate all of the support. So thank you for that. I've got these check glass pearls. There's a creamy iridescent white in the other two kits, and this color just needed to be included and involved in this. It doesn't feel like a fall color by itself. It feels very summery and kind of beachy. And then some of the deeper colors in this kit really sent it into a totally different direction. So you pretty much need every strand that was in your kit except for your 2 millimeters. The 2 millimeter fire polish are only in the smaller seed bead kit. And then we're just going to get these all laid out. We've got our seed beads out, so we've got several different colors and sizes of seed beads in this strand. But you did not, you don't need those size 10 Matubos beads anymore because we're all done with those. So this stringing pattern's a little complicated, but not in like a you can't do it way, just in a you have to really pay attention way if you're going to follow my exact direction. So I've got a size 8, if I can get this to focus, there we go, a size 8 and a size 3 millimeter fire polish, and the size 8 is also in the seed bead packet. And then in this kit color, we've got the like really light blue, gray, matte, transparent. It's got a little bit of an AB finish, and then a 4 millimeter pearl and another one of those gray seed beads. This next bead is that accent bead. So check glass bicone in the 4 millimeter size, or the size 6 tri-cut is your option with that one. And then for this kit, the darkest size 11 seed bead, and then a rondelle. It's the only rondelle shape in the kit. It's a 3x5, and then the darkest seed bead again. And then we go back to the accent bead, which is the bicone here. And then we repeat that pearl sequence with those gray 11s. And after that, it's a repeat. So you've got that whole next section that is a size 8, a 3 millimeter, an 8, an 11, a 4 millimeter round 11, an accent, which is a size 6 or 4 millimeter bicone, an 11, a rondelle, and then, yep, there's a full picture of the necklace there in a little bit higher resolution. And again, I've got my bead stopper on here on the one end of this necklace, but it is just as easy to start off by making your loop of your,
Did someone mean to put the
I
thing
kind of
back on
felt like
top?
I was maybe, hopefully people could still hear me.
I don't know how that got there, but Sarah did join back in. So maybe
Yay!
when she joined back in, maybe that's when it happened.
Probably what it was.
Totally fine. I think, honestly, I thought you guys did it on purpose because it's so easy to see the sequence of the beads. I was like, yes, good job, guys. That is exactly what you should do.
It's just the chaos I bring everywhere I go. We were in a field 2 days ago and we saw these turkeys running in a circle, like around a tree. They were chasing each other, literally in a circle. And I was like, that is what next week is going to look like. And I was not wrong. It was not wrong.
Well, that's, yeah, totally. So guys, I'm going to be stringing this strand for a minute. If you guys have anything you want to share with the class while that's happening, please feel free to
I did, but I no longer have my camera hooked up. So it may take me a minute. So we'll watch what you're doing and then I will rehook up. Okay.
All right. Perfect. I'll bring my camera down. I think there we go a little bit so that people can see more of the stringing as I do it. I'm just going to have to talk out loud to myself so that I can keep track of my placement with the pattern. So funny story. This is, I traded a little bit with my mom, Sheila, who's watching right now. And she is going to be, she's helped me with some things recently. And so this is her necklace, and I am just sitting here like, oh, I think I was starting to muck up the pattern at the end of the last time I was working on it here. So gotta get back to the, there we go. So we've got that accent bead coming on next after this pearl. There's like a double pearl sequence in here because these patterns go like, if you imagine something undulating up and down and then back up and down again with like a double lower portion in the middle. It's kind of what is happening here, if that makes any sense to anybody.
Okay, there is a chance that it's going to make a bunch of noise when I bring my camera on, but it will be temporary. So everybody hold your ears.
I'll be quiet,
We'll see how it goes. Well, maybe it'll be okay.
Ooh.
One thing worked out today. Woohoo!
Definitely time for celebration.
I'm adding it to the stage. And there we go.
There you are.
Hopefully it doesn't drop again. Okay. I hate to say it, but if you've already entered our giveaway, you have to enter it all over again. I'm so sorry. My internet dropped. It dropped on my phone and on my computer all at once. And so we have 0 entries for the giveaway. And so you have to type in hashtag BTLB, beads to live by, into the comments in order to enter to win. And we will be giving away this beautiful necklace that I have on my screen here. So I made this last week in a live, and we will be giving away this pendant in a few lives this week. But whoever wins this time is going to get the full necklace. Why is it still not gaining entries? Hold on. Let me make sure I have this correctly.
Well, and Sarah, I think something that you should keep in mind so that you don't feel so guilty is that everybody has to be here all the way through the end to win anyways, right? So even if you have to have them add their entry a couple of times, they're still around to do it. So
yeah, just keep putting it in every 5 to 10 minutes. And maybe that will be your opportunity to win. I see them collecting now. Okay. So someone will win the necklace. You do have to be here at the end in order to win. So I had started before I had all of that debacle happen. I had started on the earrings that Cassandra and I were discussing at the beginning. And I was working on a little pattern and I had just started crimping when the chaos began. And I was crimping these 2 crimps. So I basically took a piece of soft flex wire, I strung my pattern, and then I strung the soft flex in both directions into 2 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes. And then I was crimping them down side by side using the magical crimpers. They look like little metal beads. And then I was going to just trim right off at that crimp on both ends so that I could hang them on top of these beautiful pieces that Cassandra is going to be putting up in her shop. I understand they're not quite there yet, right?
Right. So like there's still full necklace kits, and then I am going to make sure and include sets of those. I do have a limited quantity of those little metal beads. So I guess my suggestion to people, especially if they didn't do the necklace kit, is to go and like add the little like bits and pieces if they're looking for like the 2 millimeters or the bicones and other things that are, you know, somewhat unique to our store. And then you've got all that in your cart and ready so that when those medallions are available, they can just like pop those into their cart and check out maybe. I don't know. That's one suggestion from another fellow bead addict.
Right? Get your stuff ready to go and then check out when you've got everything kind of in there. So I made this little ear wire and it looks like I could do the loop a little bit bigger, but that's perfect because I wanted to show you guys how to make these anyway. And
that's
nice,
so cool.
what's nice is that when you have something like this that's jam-packed and it's a big piece, you can make your ear wire to adjust to like what makes sense for your design. So let's pop this off. I had been thinking about ear wires because this morning I put on these earrings and I'll show them to you here in a second. I put on these earrings and I love these earrings, but whatever ear wire was in it was kind of a base metal probably, and it always bothers my ear. And so I can't wear them more than one day in a row or they bother me. And I noticed my ear was already annoyed this morning after I had put them on. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take 2 minutes and I'm going to make a Softflex craft wire ear wire because it is a coated metal. It's hypoallergenic and it feels so much better. I mean, I can't even describe the difference. If you have any metal allergies and you have a difficult time with ear wires, this is what you need to do. I'm going to show you right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Sarah. It's like angry ear. Angry
earlobe. It was just sore. And I was like, oh, it's so annoying. So here is my Softflex craft wire. This is a 20 gauge non-tarnished silver. It comes in gold, silver, copper color, actual colors like red or green. And I'm just going to take my nylon jaw pliers and I'm going to run over it. My first ear wire that I made this morning for this project, I used the smallest size on my pliers here. This time I'm going to use a size bigger. So I used that one. I'm going to go a size bigger because now I know that didn't really fit as well as I wanted it to. And I'm just going to trim this nice and flat so it can meet the end here. I'm just going to make that little circle. And you're still seed beading over there, right, Cassandra?
Oh, yes. And if at any point I have to like, you know, just
do anything different,
unfinish the, you know, like the one end of it, I'll be able to demo pretty much the entirety of the kind of necklace construction without completing the strand if necessary. So
okay, great. Yeah, just if you have anything important to share, let me know.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there is my ear wire. I used the second smallest at the top for the connection point. I used the biggest for the ear wire hoop. And I'm just going to make a second one now, and then we'll work harden it. And I've got a pair of ear wires that aren't going to hurt my ear, A. And B, I could make that loop just a little bit bigger so that it could fit the project that I'm working on. So now I'm going to just do that same thing twice because I need 2 ear wires. Flip these over. You can find this tool on our website most of the time. I'm not sure if we're in stock right now. I just grabbed it because I wanted to make an ear wire this morning. I was like,
it's so smart, Sarah. I love the idea of being able to wear it because, like, you could layer a couple of sizes of jump rings and, you know, get it to hang correctly. But to be able to, like, pull it up right against your earlobe with the custom ear wire is so smart.
It does help. So this is a wire whacker. It's pretty loud, so I'm just going to mute myself and do this. You can watch, and then I'll be right back.
I'm going to do the voiceover for Sarah's whack, 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 whack.
Man, that feels good on a Monday morning. I mean,
I know I'm a little jealous. I don't have anything I need to whack with.
I mean, you really might need something. It's helpful. Okay, so the last thing two last things. I'm going to take my little burr cup, which is just like a little round file, just files down those edges so they're smooth when they're going through your ear. And then I like to kind of hold these even. And then I come in with my pliers and just do my quick little bend. Okay, so I've got those ear wires. Where did my beads go? There they are. Okay, so now this size hopefully will be a better fit for my project. And I can put on that cool disc. And then I can put on my little bead. Well, I got to go up again. Boop, boop, boop. I'm trying not to pull it out because I want to loop, but I also want to fit everything. So there.
Yeah, twisting those loops open or the jump rings even at times is a little tricky.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your beautiful loop. And when you bring it out straight, you kind of lose that shape, and it also kind of work hardens it in a way that is not great. There we go. How cute is that little earring? And you could do any pattern you want. I chose to do the 2 little metal crimps because with gravity, it should naturally hold it with the bead in the center. However, you could do 1 loop and just have it continuously move around too. If you don't need it to be centered, that would be fine. But 2 little crimps on either side of that ear wire kind of help it to dangle just the way you want it to.
I love it, Sarah. And, you know, with the design I did, I left the wire open or bare so that you could see some of the wire. And so I just did the 1 crimp bead on the pendant in the example. But as long as people have extra of their crimp beads, they are totally able to do even that style on their necklace as well to match.
Yeah, if you wanted to even do another layer on it, because you've got a layered necklace.
Oh, yeah.
You could just go right in here. Let me center my piece here again. And then I would go through the ear wire this time so I can get it the right length.
Oh, Dana's right. You've got your mojo back.
Oh, I hope so. Use a little mojo. So look how that's going to hang when I crimp it. I want to get just kind of the right size so that it'll layer nicely.
I'm going to immediately regret not having piles of these little medallions.
And then we can center that crimp tube. And then this becomes like a little weight to sort of pull that down to the bottom. And it just looks like a little metal bead. So It'll look like it's part of the design.
Absolutely.
Not holding together. We come in nice and flat, close to that crimp tube. And again, these little metal parts you can get from Beads to Live By. They will be going up on the website soon. So look for them there. Look how cute that is.
Oh my gosh, Sarah, that's perfection.
You could do purple or, red if you have red in your stash, or white. If you don't like the turquoise, you can always change it up. But that's super fun. I love it. These little discs are great. You guys are going to have to run over and buy those. When do you think you'll have it on the website?
Let's just set a time. That makes sense, right? We'll say 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. 10 o'clock. We're holding you to it.
Maybe somebody send me a email reminder. I will try so hard to remember.
We're a little busy this week. We will not be sending you an email reminder.
No. I mean, like right now, I'm just saying, like, anyone out there, Becky Foster, I know you're probably already on it. So I remember what I said in the middle of the video. Oh my God.
I love that. Let's go back and see how it's going on your bead table.
We've got a good chunk of this strung on here. And I'll switch ends with my my bead stopper and give you guys some updates on how to complete these pieces. So again, ending or starting on a size 8 seed bead works really well. With this fine soft flex, you can get back through most beads except for maybe the size 11s are going to be a little too small to double back through, but I'm going to add my crimp bead. So again, this is like the start end of the necklace strand, or if I was completing it, you would follow the same process of making this little crimped loop. And this end is easy because I've got lots of room. I can just leave my crimp. And you just want to make your crimp similar length on the loop. Sheila's necklace is looking lovely. So your loop length, you just want to make it somewhat similar to both ends of the same strand as well as the other strand that you are not currently working on. And then I'm just going to double back through as many beads as this fine soft flex will allow me to. And I'm going to trim off that little stubby piece that's going to try to push my beads out and get in my way.
Jean, I was using the magical crimpers for crimping. You can find them on the Softflex Company website. Can you find them at Beads to Live By?
I think I do not have them listed on my website. So shop away at Softflex.
Okay.
For
I was just thinking if they're already getting those little discs, maybe they would get those there too.
Oh yeah, that would be super smart of me, huh? So the way these strands are going to sit is the smallest one, again, on this necklace design sample is about 18.5 inches long. The next biggest strand is about 19.5 inches long. But that means that they sit relatively close to each other when they're hanging, because the bigger beads also push out against your seed bead strand a little bit. And once you've completed those, we will work on the chain portion and talk about all the finishing techniques too, just to make sure we get through everything in short order here. But we'll set these other strung pieces aside. With the chain, I find it easiest because of measuring purposes to work from the center. So like I have 2 feet of that chain in your kit, and it will just be nice for you to like fold that first piece in half and cut it so that that middle piece is cut to length, and then you have 2 separate pieces to cut off of for the rest of the the necklace, because you might not use all of it, but this way, you know, you're working from like the center and you've got plenty to do what you need to do. So the measurements on these samples are, again, these are in your notes for anyone who's purchasing kits. There's a 4 1/8 of an inch roughly piece in the center there. And some of these measurements could get distorted by if you elongate or shorten your cuts and wraps on your wire wrapping, but we're gonna go over all that. So hopefully we can be somewhat consistent.
Cassandra has so many seed beads.
So many.
So if anybody is looking for seed beads, she is an excellent location to take a look. And in fact, she even has a subscription. Is that still going, Cassandra?
It is. I wasn't sure what our time frames would look like, so I have the sneak peek of the September colors sitting behind me if we get through.
Oh, we'll make time. Oh, we'll make time for that for sure.
So this is 4 1/8 inch long. That's the center piece, and that's what we'll attach that little medallion to. And then the way that we work our remaining part of that chain, you could easily use this chain without any beaded sections on it, but I love that my medallion cannot slide past you know, a certain point in the center. That was part of my plan for having that those beaded sections worked in. And then you'll just pull the rest of the wire out of your little goodie bag. You've got about a foot of that 22 gauge in here, which is enough for at least 4 links. You could probably even make the 6 if you needed to add an extra set of links in there or preferred to. But my wire wrapping experience comes from learning the gallery wrap, which is a very like precise, fancy sort of looped closure. And I do that first bend, and then I reposition my pliers and go around the top here. And you have like kind of a little hook shape at that point. And with this design, I'm leaving like just an inch and a half off the bottom there. And then we're going to come across that portion. And you want to, at this point, your loop is not completely sealed. You want at that moment to add at least the chain loop or whatever you're attaching this to. And then I hold my pliers, and I don't really need to switch from the round nose across that loop I'm making and do. This is where I deviate from my learned gallery wrap, and I just kind of pull that wire around to do a couple of little slightly messy wraps. Really depends on the size of the wire and the loops that I'm making and how I want all that to sit. But use a nice pair of flush cutters. I'm sure you guys have something like that on the website, Sarah.
Yeah.
Snip
we
those.
have some nice Italian cutters on the website. I just wanted to acknowledge Tony's message. We were talking a little bit about this earlier today. When we kicked off, we talked a lot about intentions and, you know, what we're trying to conquer this week. And I was talking about getting my creativity back after losing my husband. And I just wanted to acknowledge that Tony's kind of saying in a similar way how beading is so therapeutic. So when you've got a lot going on in your life or something really hard happens, whether it's good or bad, whether it's a move to Maui, which is good and amazing, but stressful, or it's, you know, the sadness of losing someone you love or someone being sick. Beading is such a fantastic, easy thing to do to bring yourself a little bit of joy. And, you know, that's what I'm looking forward to this week more than anything is just being able to spend it with all of you and be creative and use my fingers and my beads. And I know Tony must be feeling that too. And you're welcome, Tony. We love you. We're
That
here.
is such a beautiful sentiment, Sarah. And I cannot begin to name the amount of people that I know. I've been doing this for over 20 years. And names that you would recognize from books and teaching all over the world who literally picked up a bag of beads because they were in a hospital with a loved one or had lost somebody and were looking for something to kind of nourish their soul and give them that therapy that we cannot find in other places and things in our lives. So we're so grateful to be here with everyone. We're so grateful.
And then we just have such a beautiful community here
and being
too.
A place that's safe and supportive for for all of us. So this is, gosh, I'm getting verklempt now.
I know.
Try to pull back my little bit of tears there. So for this portion of the necklace, this is your middle section, and I've got those 2 pieces of chain. Oh, Benita. So sorry.
I hold a place in my heart for your mother, Benita.
For sure. We're taking that longer piece of chain and going to string. Gosh, that's going to be the hardest part because I'm trying to see through my misty eyes right now.
Well, if you come on a live with me, you just end up like everyone ends up a little at some point.
Yes. Oh my God.
Really hard not to be misty around me right now.
Well, that's my default, Sarah. So it's really not like just you at all either.
Yeah, I believe this, Margaret. And I always think about this too when you're at a grocery store and someone's a little cranky with you, or someone cuts you off and they're driving like a maniac and you're kind of angry at them. I always try to remember I have no idea what's going on in their life, and it could be really difficult, and give them that grace around you.
So I've got that middle section attached to one of the longer sides of my chain, and I'm going to go through and make the other side connection of that wire wrapped bead the same exact way I just showed you guys. For half a second, I was thinking I lost track of my piece of wire here. So I won't go through and like dictate every single part of that, but oh, Melanie, that sounds like a lot. Goodness. I hope that you're starting to heal after all that.
I bet your mom really loves that you still bead, Kimberly. So I'm glad you eventually were able to get back to it. It's definitely one thing also that I think has been important to me in my process is really making choices for good mental health and good like physical health. So if you're going through something hard, that is the time to like eat your vegetables, go on walks, drink plenty of water. Don't drink alcohol. You know, like I haven't had a sip of alcohol since Joshua was diagnosed. And I think it's been really good for me because I don't need any additional things. And then make something, sit and make something, you know, and use that creativity.
And, you know, Sarah, something I hear people share often too, you know, because I am a designer and come up with my own, you know, projects, is that having something to follow, where they don't have to like think through making the decisions about how to put the beads on and where to put the beads on, seems to be a really like meditative part of being able to do beadwork, but not, you know, not the design process, like something for you to maybe be real gentle with yourself too right now. And like that mojo part.
That's a great point. And there's going to be a whole lot of beautiful kits this week. So if you are someone who's been struggling with getting back to beading, or just being creative in general, maybe there's a kit this week that will inspire you that you can purchase and follow the directions and just get yourself going again.
Now, I just want to point out that that middle section is almost twice as long as the sections I'm cutting on the sides here. Those side sections are only 2¼ inches long because that middle section bends in half. And so like where your beads hit and the intervals of where everything sits, this length of these chains makes this part more similar to the middle section because of like how everything sits. And we just have 2 more of our rondelles here. I'm going to find the rest of there's my wire. And just remember, each time you make a loop and you attach it to something before, you need to attach it to a piece of chain somewhere before you seal it off too.
Yeah, you can take any chain and make it a beaded chain. You know, you can add your own charm or bead or component to it and make it uniquely yours.
Exactly. Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate the acknowledgement. It's a very simple little trick to kind of add some pizzazz to part of the project. You guys, it's so cool to me to see the vulnerability of people sharing their personal circumstances like this. And I was just glancing up at the screen while I was doing something I didn't have to look at to, you know, like some of this is muscle memory with the wire wrapping. And it was so interesting to watch my hands working in the background while reading such a poignant message. It's very cool that you all are not just able to do that for yourselves and share those things, but then I hope, you know, every time you share stuff like that with other people, that it's really quite a gift to those who maybe are not ready to share their struggles or feeling alone, and then hearing other people's struggles. You know, I bet Sarah can really give testament to that too.
Yeah, we all have people we miss. We're all going through different things, different changes in life. You know, kids growing up. You know, my little one started kindergarten. That's kind of emotional. We've got Kristen sending off one to college, and
man,
you know, there's people who are dealing with cancer or other long-term illnesses, and we're all doing our best, and we got to be here to support each other. And if we can support it through this artistic way, I think it's really something beautiful.
It is. And hopefully, I think you guys do such an amazing job of having this community where it feels safe and it facilitates this kind of healthy conversation. Hopefully people know that those of us that are in, I start talking and totally almost sealed that off without adding it to the chain.
I have done that so many times.
I bet Softflex feels this way too. I do not take my position in this world lightly when it comes to the people that I know kind of rely on us for this sort of mental health support, because it is frequent and it is lifelong. I have not ever been in this industry and not felt the healthy weight of that responsibility. And I'm just using my chain to roughly measure the previous chain to roughly measure my links here. But that last section is, let's see here, going to be 5 1/8 inch on each side. For anyone that's like out there just using some of the things that they have, making notes of their own, whatever it is, that I want to make sure you still have some general idea of what's happening here. But at the end of the day, making each strand roughly an inch apart from the last one is basically what you are attempting to do. And then I don't know if anybody's catching when I'm cutting a piece of chain and measuring, like I've got one the length I want it, I hold it up so that my chain dangles, and then I cut that second uncut side to make sure that I'm getting, because if you lay chain down flat, you're getting some kind of disproportionate length because the chain can like buckle or kind of smush up a little bit.
I can identify with Rosanna. She was talking about having some brain fog after COVID. And thankfully, my COVID experience was very quick. It was like literally within 6 days, it was gone because I took Paxlovid. But I have grief fog. And like, sometimes I'm like, what is happening? Where am I? What's going on?
Aww.
Like, I just can get so foggy sometimes. So I just totally understand, Rosanna, how you're feeling.
Yeah, the brain fog after my first bout of COVID, before any of the vaccinations were available, back in the fall of 2020 was intense. I got it right around Thanksgiving, and I remember going through Christmas and into the new year and realizing I was just starting to feel quote unquote more normal again. Being able to like process things more quickly. It was while I was doing inventory for the store, and it like just hadn't even occurred to me that I
had long COVID.
Yeah, was so intensely affected by it still. So I'm just holding this sample up so I can kind of see. I'm going to do a little something different on this dangle. There's a little bit extra here because I haven't quite completed my one strand yet. But honestly, guys, there's so much product in this kit that I don't want to make promises for like individual designs with, you know, anybody's variations or length changes, but generally speaking, you're really going to have a lot of product to work with. So you'll have some extra either way.
Wendy, I'm sending you a little virtual hug. I understand better than I'd like to. This is coming together so beautifully. I love these colors. I love this little link on the front. Is so cute.
Well, thank you, Kristen. Kristen, Sarah. You guys pushed out on me earlier. I'm going to use that as my excuse. So I've got just a little variety of my seed beads and my 2mm fire polish on that tiny piece of, we're losing half of it. That tiny piece of the medium soft flex. That's really important if you're working off of your own materials, because you need that size to be able to do a proper magical crimp. And I've got my 2 by 2 millimeter crimp on there, and it's just the way that Sarah was demoing with crisscrossing through that piece of the soft flex. And then it's about a 1/2 inch across. I'm double checking my notes. Yep. But I'm going to just, again, use my current piece as a go by, eyeball that puppy there, and then get my magic crimper in here. And the great thing about this is that you don't have to worry about where you do the crimp because your beads are just going to dangle around anyways. But if you use a symmetrical design, meaning that your beads are centered and the crimp is centered, you know, it's going to kind of flip flop around, and just kind of keep in mind that crimp is going to be part of your grouping of beads. There we go. I was hitting that crimp kind of funny, so it was trying to go wonky on me, but I think I've got it back in position. So without finishing that just one singular end of the necklace, I'm going to go ahead and go through and give everybody the rest of their construction notes, because you've got 5 jump rings total in your findings packet. You got 3 larger ones and 2 smaller ones. The smaller ones and 2 of the larger ones are going to be part of your end of the design. And then I apologize for the adorable but annoying dog in the background.
No worries. There's almost always a dog, a kid, or a handyman in the background of my video.
That's right. You had that little bit of pounding going on before, which was
More to come.
Fun, not that bad.
Yeah. So, they've got 1 chimney left, and then hopefully I'm all done with pounding for a little while.
Oh, good. So for the sake of fluidity and a nice kind of movement in your design, I'm using that bigger jump ring, and I'm putting it through both of these pieces, my medallion and the little soft flux bead loop. And then you just want to really be, now I did close this, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to open it back up again. You just want to be as mindful as possible of getting a seal on that. You don't really want to be able to see a whole lot of space in between your ends of your jump ring there. And then taking that center portion of your chain, if you open and close that and get a good seal on it ahead of attaching it, I put it around the chain. I like the movement of not having it like attached to a ring on the chain, because this will make it a little bit more, I think, organic looking when you have it on. But you guys could do things like this and individually clasp the pieces so that you could wear them by themselves too. You don't have to attach everything all together like I'm going to show you, even though it's totally an awesome part of this design, because all of these coordinate and I want to be able to wear them together. And that really makes it kind of an easy thing to pull out of, you know, like, I don't know about you guys, I have a lot of jewelry in my jewelry box. And sometimes it's nice if you want to layer like a set of bracelets together and wear them, and you want to layer a set of necklaces, then having it all coordinated and attached to one another is helpful. So the very end of one side of your necklace, you're going to take that larger jump ring again and put on a piece of chain, and then the next loop you'll attach is from that medium length of your necklace, the larger beaded strand. And then the last one you'll add is the seed bead strand, or the smallest strand. And honestly, you could reverse that, but the goal is to definitely have that medium length strand in the middle and then give that a really good seal, because we've got that fine soft flex on this jump ring and you want to make sure. And so Linda, the covering the crimp, you could totally use a crimp cover. Like we talked about at the beginning, you could also just use a thicker piece of wire to insert and create a, you can make a magic crimp on that spot. But I have not noticed with flattening those crimps any kind of irritation to my neck, if that's like what you're worried about. The crimps are good quality and you definitely are not going to have like a shard or a jagged end. The only time I would worry about that is if you were using a crimp bead that was maybe a little bit, you know, the lower quality crimp beads, which neither Soft Flex nor I carry, would potentially get brittle when they get smushed like that. And then perhaps you would run into some concern with like having that just flat and open like that. But
I wanted to note, Kim said something about how she loves to make jewelry and then she gives it away to family and coworkers. And one thing I've noticed while I've been in this whole process through Joshua being ill and then passing is that people don't know what to say to me because there is nothing really to say. It's very awkward for me and for them. But I was going to say, if you know somebody who is going through something similar to myself, one nice thing you can do is just package up a little piece of jewelry and drop it with an encouraging word at their doorstep. You know, just like a little, sometimes a little trinket and a little encouraging word can mean a lot to someone. So if you have like that extra pair of earrings or extra bracelet that you aren't quite sure what to do with, maybe it's not exactly your style, maybe package it up and give it to someone who needs that little piece of encouragement.
that's such a great piece of advice, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that with people, because I think, you know, in the midst of not knowing what to say, sometimes people say things that are, you know, unfortunately, you know, harmful to someone who's in the process of grieving. And being able to acknowledge that there isn't anything that can be said to fix something should be normalized, right?
Yeah.
Like we all should just be able to accept that. And I say this as someone that I have a really hard time not being able to fix my friends and family's problems when I know they're hurting. But even knowing that, I know that there's just times where it's appropriate to just acknowledge that it hurts, it sucks, and I'm sorry, and I want to just like love on you, right?
Rosanna, the kids did get their gifts, and I believe even as of this morning, they have pierced every doll's ear in this house. So
what is going on?
Rosanna makes like Barbie jewelry.
Oh my goodness, jewelry. How cool.
So you've started a trend in this house for sure.
So I am just out over here attempting to arrange this necklace so that everybody can see. Once you get that big jump ring on the one end of the necklace, you want to carefully lay all of your strands out and then pull the other ends down for yourself and get that other larger jump ring out, because you're going to want to string them on, you know, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, whatever order that you went in. But like the important part is to get them laid out flat like that. And then once you've done all that, the next step on each end is to take your small jump ring, and I love having these magic crimpers handy because they make a great jump ring opener. And that part is also important to make sure that when you place this onto that larger jump ring, you've got the order of, and right now I'm even seeing that it's not correct. Here we go. You need to have it outside of that collection of beads of strands, because you need to have those strands all clustered in the correct order. And once you do that, you can take that smaller jump ring and put your one end of your clasp on there. And then again, you just want to make sure and give yourself a good tight seal on. And I'm pushing my hands together a little bit as I twist. That's the key to getting a nice seal on that. But when your clasp is attached on each end, you should have a good clean order of your bead strands. And when they're all clustered correctly laying on your neck, this is going to be your interior strand. And then that chain is the exterior strand. And when you're trying to, you know, as we all probably pile our jewelry in little, you know, spots on our house, the easiest way to get this untangled is to grab the interior strand. And then I'm trying to do this on camera. It's a little tough because it's so, there we go, so close to the table. But if you grab that interior small strand and then make sure that they're in the order that they're supposed to lay after that. So then you've got your medium, your middle length, and then the chain on the outside. Then when you put it on, as long as you make sure that you've got your pendant facing forward, once you clasp it on your neck, then you're ensured that they're going to hang nicely, which is something that would otherwise be a little bit tough to confirm.
Yeah. How beautiful is that, you guys? I love it. If you wanted to swap out that front pendant for something else, you totally could.
Oh
You
my
could
gosh.
change up the type of chain or the type of beads or the clasp. You know, it's really like once you have this down, you've got a really nice tutorial for a 3-strand necklace.
Well, and that's why I wanted to make sure during the video and share every little bit of that, like kind of those ideas on how I went about layering them appropriately, the lengths, the difference in the lengths, because I am someone who, when I teach, I like to, you know, teach a bead or two fish rather than just feed them, you know, one meal.
Totally. Sherry, we do have a bird feeder. We also have a baby bird nesting in our planter in the front. So we have been really enjoying going out and checking out that little baby bird. And we have this plant in front. I think it's called a desert sage. My husband planted it. It's a native plant to Northern California. And the hummingbirds and little tiny, I don't know the exact kind of bird. They're just little tiny, cute, like maybe like a wren.
Yeah.
Just tiny. They come and feed on that thing all the time. And it's right outside a window. It used to be the window I would watch them while I was doing videos with you guys. It was out that window. So yes, we get to see lots of birds, and we love all of the wildlife around us. Okay, I think we should probably do our giveaway now.
Yes.
Quick, everyone, make sure you're looking at the bottom of the screen. It is BTLB, Beads to Live By, hashtag BTLB to enter. And you'll be entering to win this pretty little necklace right here. Let me see if I can get it to focus a little better. Does it look as unfocused on your end as it does on mine?
I think it's a little bit of the connection momentarily. I bet it'll crisp up. Yeah.
Okay. So this beautiful necklace here is up for grabs through this giveaway. It will not ship till next week. but I am excited to be able to share it with you. Maybe if I bring it up a little bit. I don't know why we're getting such poor connections today. But let's go ahead and go to the giveaway page. Let me add that to, there it goes. Clear it up a little bit. Present, let's see. Share screen. There we go. All right, giveaway. And here is our page. We've got 108 entries. There's a lot more of you watching live right now. You must be here live to win. So make sure you have put into the comments hashtag BTLB. And if you would like to enter to win. And after I pick a winner, you will email info@softluxcompany.com and let Terry know that you are the winner for Cassandra's hour, and you will be winning a necklace. And I will send it to Terry next week so she can get it all shipped out to you. I've got 109 entries and counting. I'm going to hit that draw button any second now. So if you have not entered and you want to, this is your last chance. Here I go.
Sarah, can I ask a favor? Would you guys send me the shipping info for the winner? Because I would love to get a few exciting goodies from the Celia.
Let's see. Cecilia, are you here from YouTube? Please let us know in the comments that you're here live in order to claim your prize. We did have a forfeiter in the last video. So let us know that you are here. Everybody stick around. Make sure.
There you are.
There she is. Awesome. Okay, Cecilia, I'm sending you this beautiful necklace. It's a nice long necklace that would fit anybody. It doesn't have a specific length or anything. So I hope you love it. It's made with love. And I will get that shipped out probably sometime next week. Make sure to email info@softluxcompany.com. Let Terry know that you won the necklace and your address. And then Damien, if you could let Terry know that Cassandra needs the address as well. And this person gets a double prize, 2 prizes for the price of 1. Okay. Go ahead. What did you want to say, Cassandra?
Oh, I was just the prize was my reaction to the fact that I just saw all the additional kit orders I've gotten. So thank you so much, everyone that's out there. I felt like I just needed to do something to reciprocate all the love your audience is giving to me today. So,
Kristen, did you want to give us a sneak peek of what's coming up at 3:00?
I have been working away quietly in the background.
I was like, oh, she claimed the bangle. She did it.
So I'm working on a little sun catcher.
Oh my
You're going to hang it in your new Maui house.
My new Maui house, a little California love in the middle.
Oh,
and
so
yeah, so I've got one half done, and we will work on the second half on my video in just a half hour from now.
Cassandra, did you know that Kristen is moving to Maui?
It just finally clicked into my thick head that that's who you were talking about. How have I missed that? Congratulations.
Well, I kept it pretty under wraps. I'm a good secret holder.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, don't tell me the secret. If you have to tell someone at Softflex the secret, you tell Kristen.
Basically, all the secrets that people tell me that I feel like I'm going to explode, I'll just throw it to Kristen so that I don't have.
That's what Sarah does too. I have to tell somebody. No.
Does that mean anything for Kristen's involvement in Softflex?
No.
Okay. I guess if that's not public information either way.
No, she is sticking around. Thankfully.
Yeah, I told everybody. Told everyone on my videos.
Providing Kristen with a tinge of consistency in a very big change in life. So
yeah, for sure.
Will be nice.
all of the times that I go live, like right now, will stay the same on Pacific time. It'll just be me that's changing. But all of you out there that have been hanging with me at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, that will be the same. But yes, from the desert to the ocean.
Like opposites. Oh.
Not only is she moving, she's doing it this week.
Right.
During Customer Appreciation Week.
Yeah. Because, you know, why make it easy on yourself?
It almost reminds me of someone that moved their entire business earlier this year and then decided to put on a bead festival. What is wrong with that?
Yeah. Who does stuff like that?
Who does that? Oh, wait.
Beaders do.
Crazy.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Cassandra, it has been a joy to spend time with you. Thank you, everybody out there that so vulnerably shared all the different things. I think it was good for everyone who didn't share, just to see and think about all the different things people are going through in the background. Be kind to one another. Yeah, be kind to one another. You never know what someone else is dealing with. And like I said, maybe think about figuring out a gift for someone who's going through a challenging time from your bead stash. So I will be back tomorrow, but Kristen is taking this third hour all to herself. And I'm sure it will be a ton of fun. So tune in again at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and hang out with Miss Kristen Fagan. And she will have our Customer Appreciation Week kit from Softflix Company to share with you. Thank you for all of the wonderful orders. We too are getting blown up with orders. Is everything back in line, Kristen, with it working?
It looks that way. So yeah, while I was on this video, I was also figuring out some tech support on the back end.
And simultaneously moving out of state.
Thank God you didn't decide to move to Maui on Monday.
Right. Right. I'm giving you guys 2 days to get it all worked out.
That is very good. Here is the beautiful sketch pad that is going into our swag bag. You can order that now on the website or get one free with your order over $99. It must be the subtotal. It cannot include the tax or the shipping. Has to be the subtotal. Put in code CAWSWAG, CAW swag, in order to get the deal. So you have to put in a coupon code to get the deal. If you already have discounts, like you are a wholesale designer or you're a bead store and you're logged in, this deal will not work for you. You will have to check out as a guest. You can either get this deal or get your regular discounts, but not both together. Okay. So next up is Miss Kristen. We'll see you at 3, Kristen.
Thanks,
see you guys soon. Bye,
Cassandra.
Bye, Cassandra.
Bye.